Okay, I'm reading Matthew 24 today. God, in the Good News translation, which is the translation I have bilingually, under the title in this chapter, it actually starts at verse 32 and goes through 35. The title is like the lesson of the fig tree. I'm kind of struggling with what it means. Like, to remember that all these things will happen before the people now living have all died. What does that mean? Like, all the things he's talking about, it's like all those predictions, like how we can know that the coming of the end is happening. Like, and earlier in the chapter he says, Jesus answered, as Jesus sat down on the mountain of Olives, the disciples came to him in private. Tell us when all of this will be, they said, talking about the end. They asked, and what will happen to show us that it is time for your coming and the end of the age? Jesus answered, watch out, and do not let anyone fool you. Many men claiming to speak for me will come and say, I am the Messiah, and they will fool many people. You are going to hear the noise of battles close by, and the news of battles far away. But do not be troubled. Such things must happen, but they do not mean that the end has come. Countries will fight each other, kingdoms will attack one another, there will be famines and earthquakes everywhere. And these things are like the first pains of childbirth. Then you will be arrested and handed over and punished and will be put to death. Everyone will hate you because of me. Many will give up their faith at the time. They will betray one another and hate one another. Then many prophets will appear and fool many people. Such will be the spread of evil that many people's love will grow cold. But whoever holds out to the end will be saved, and the good news about the kingdom will be preached throughout the world, and for a witness to all people, and then the end will come. But like, he says that, and then he tells them later on that, in the same way, when you see all these things, like, and all these things must mean that, right? Like, I don't know what else they would mean. You see all these things, these things will happen before the people now living have all died. But like, not even all those things have happened yet, have they? Or isn't it they started happening? Like, it's not the end has come. Like, he says the end has come, and this will happen when all you are alive. And okay, maybe he's saying this to somebody, and I mean, I know there was like talk about that they thought that one of them was going to live until the end, and like John or something like that. I know Don Miller in his book talks about like someone reading John talking about how that's not what he really meant, and I don't just like what is this supposed to mean? I don't know. So I guess it's kind of a struggle. Like, I don't get what Jesus is saying here. I mean, if he really means that all of you are going to see the end of the world, then he was wrong, and that means that he was a false prophet, which means that Judaism's right. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what to think there. I don't know. The faithful and the unfaithful servant. This is kind of a weird chapter, I think. Matthew. I mean, it's like before Jesus is. Well, I really liked the last chapter, kind of like. Well, I liked it. I mean, because we're supposed to like it all, but you all know that that's not true. It never happened. It's like the story of Jesus talking about like the Pharisees and how they're hypocrites. Then there's this chapters like right here. Oh, the Great Commandments in chapter 22, chapter 23. Jesus talking about hypocrites. He's talking about the end of the world. Just like it's this random chapter, and then I don't know. It's just like it's a weird chapter just thrown in here. I mean, a few chapters later, Jesus like they start to plot to kill Jesus, and then they kill Jesus. I mean, Jesus is taking the pilot in a few chapters, but yes, I mean, it has to start wrapping up soon. The book's about to end. It's only 5 more chapters left. It's just such a weird... 3 more chapters left. Wow. Well, 4 more. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. And then the proverb that I'm studying right now. It's actually, it's one I know. I've been told like 100 times, never knew where it was. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. That's the New King James translation. The Good News translation says that the beginning of knowledge is reverence for the Lord, and stupid people, something about stupid people. Kind of like the first part in the Good News translation, like reverence for the Lord. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, what does it mean to be reverent for God? And like in our churches, we're not really reverent for God. Like it is what I'm doing right now, being reverent for God. Like, is recording my voice so that I can look back at it being reverent. I mean, I guess so. It's like it's just quick. I don't want to write it down. I could take the time and really sit there and write it down, but I'm not. Like, there's these compromises we make. One of our major struggles as Christians, like, I don't know. Reverence. I mean, what does reverence mean? I guess we have a reverence. Honor or respect felt or shown. Gesture. A bow or courtesy. Respect. Reverence. To have knowledge, you must first have reverence for the Lord. To have knowledge, I must first have reverence for the Lord. It's like I must be willing to just submit myself to His teaching. I guess like if you bow down, like you're exposing your neck to Him. Like you're just trusting Him so much, just giving in, relaxing. I don't know, like I wish I had that kind of reverence. Like I wish I was reverent at all to God. Like I could just sit down and relax and just like listen to Him and just like accept it, and know that it's true. Just breathe slowly and just be calm with my neck bent down to it. And that's more knowledge. I mean, if I really want to understand all of this, that's what I have to do. I have to be able to submit myself to Him. Like, this is insane. I mean, wow. I have to be able to just submit myself to the Lord. Like, be willing to just trust Him wholeheartedly. With my mind, and with my heart, and with my logic, and with my everything. Like, wow. But people do not have wisdom. Who are fools, despise wisdom and instruction. Oh, interesting. So does that mean that people who aren't reverent for God despise God's word? And so is that kind of cool? Like, is that helpful to me? Does that give me a little bit of hope that I am reverent to God? Because I respect His word, but then again, I don't. So I'm just starting this. We're starting now. Be able to claim some sort of reverence for God.